Yeah, these things work. Who would have thought? Technology. Yeah.
I know.
No, it was taking like a million tries to let you, I don't know, let's blame Zuckerberg and co for that. Of course.
We're all here.
Yeah.
Hi.
Cool.
We made it.
Yeah, we made it. Yeah. It's like the trenches. Anyway, girls, please, could you just briefly introduce yourselves, each of you, and we'll take it from there.
Well, who starts? Who goes first?
Well, let's start with you, since you obviously want to.
Well, I'm Noah. I'm an space photographer and filmmaker. I've been playing also with AI for the past 2 years. And I don't know, it's like, I think this year is going to be my 12th year living only by photography. So it's a pretty good thing, I assume. Like 12 years only.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm happy with it. Just trying to open maybe my market a little bit more to worldwide. Maybe I can go to LA and meet Korean in person.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Next time in person. Yeah.
Hi guys, I'm Carianne. I live in Los Angeles. I'm a photographer, videographer, and creative director. I've been doing photography professionally for like 6 years now. I run my own company. I have some employees under me, which is really awesome and it's fun. Everyone's a woman, so it's girl power. It's always.
Except me.
I shoot on all mediums, but I specialize in shooting film.
Oh wow, that's vintage. One person with AI, one person with film.
Yeah.
I've found myself a conversation. I just can sense that. Okay, appetizer question. How did each of you break into the industry? How did that happen? Maybe who wants to go first?
I just, to be fairly honest, I wasn't planning to become a photographer. I was planning to become a software engineer or mathematician.
Oh my God.
Nothing related. Yeah, I know.
Hot.
Nothing related with this. I'm obsessed with numbers. I'm obsessed with technology and computers and computer science. But then suddenly realized that I saw like a fashion magazine cover and I was like, oh, wait, maybe I would love to try this world. And since that day until now, just knocking doors and shooting 24/7 and just trying to follow my dreams. I know it sounds like ethereal or dreamy, but I mean like when you really want something and you are willing to achieve something, you finally get it.
That's absolutely true. What was your intro to the industry, Carianne?
So I lived in New York I'm from Florida. I lived in New York for 7 years and I was working on Broadway. I was managing theaters, and then from managing Broadway theaters, I went and thought I was going to become a talent agent. So I worked at a talent agency under the CEO of the agency, and I was so bored out of my mind working at a desk, at a cubicle for all these, white dudes in the industry. And I'm like, oh my God, there's got to be something like better out there for me, something like something more creative. And I've always been so creative, and I loved working with the artists that I had there. Everyone was on Broadway, on TV, but with my like bonus that my boss gave me from the talent agency, because he felt so bad for me because I was making like, minimum wage working the job I went to college for, that he gave me like $1,000, and I was like shook, most money anyone's ever given me. And I bought a film camera with every dollar that he gave me, and I started taking photos of my friends. And then I started this little Instagram account, and people started to book me. And then I moved to LA to pursue being a talent agent. I was still like, I'm moving to LA to become an agent. And no one hired me. Nothing worked out. And my photography business was like booming. And then here I am. I mean, I've been in LA 5 years. So yeah, I live to tell the tale of, work for yourself and be a CEO and like be a boss, because working for someone else is not
strong women making their own rules.
Yep. Totally.
Okay. This live stream is kind of for amateur photographers, but also just for casual fans of photography who might not know all the ins and outs of the industry. So this talk is going to be a bit like structured, like to go through the whole process of what we're doing with photography. So if you don't mind, And if we approach just doing a photo shoot, doing a client shoot, what's a creative process to go from zero to concept to shoot, in brief? Could we compare your approaches? Maybe who wants to go first?
Well, great. Anna, your turn.
Okay. I usually ask, like, when a client brings me on, nine out of 10 times they want me to, like, be the director of the shoot. They want my ideas, my locations and everything. So I location scout and I send them a bunch of places that I'm like, here's places I love that you could book, mostly on like Peerspace. And then once they pick one, I make a detailed mood board about like all the looks that I want to do and like the vibe of the shoot, from photos of my own shoots, photos I find on like Pinterest or Instagram or Google, or, you know, if I'm inspired by a location, I'll like write out a little brief. But I'm pretty much very inspired by my subject and my location. And then if they give me any inspo, I like throw it into the mix. But usually they're just like, Carianne, go for it. Think of the idea. I just get to show up, which is lovely, because if I do a photo shoot of myself, I love to just show up and have someone plan the whole thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's very cool, though. In my case, I think that I just start with the main idea and then I just try to go for the rest. But I just need to have a starting point. Like, I don't know, maybe sometimes it could be like a word, or sometimes that could be like a main concept, color, and from there, like the rest of the ideas just start throwing down.
Okay.
And then probably in my case, like the last thing is the location, which sometimes I think it's super crucial sometimes to improve the photos. And I would love to get out a little bit more, but I think that just to be honest with you guys, I feel so comfortable in my studio, and maybe I need to break out that a little bit more. I used to shoot more locations, but I don't know, when I get more comfy to shoot it in my studio, that everyone can come in and then just go with the flow.
I'd say.
That's nice. I wish I had a studio. Maybe one day.
You can swap up.
Yeah.
We swap careers for a month or something.
My studio, you won't believe how tiny my studio is. I mean, it's my bedroom actually.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, that. Take all my belongings out. I just move the bed out and just got a lot of light and they just play. I change the light setup and everything inside. So I made funny because you feel comfy. But you know, when clients or some artists or people arrive at home, it's like, hey, welcome to my home. Let's go to the studio, which is also my bedroom, but so don't worry about it.
Just keeping it real. Keeping it real. You know, people love that. You also mentioned that you work with AI in your process. Could you give us listeners a bit of insight?
Yeah, sure. I feel like 2 years ago when I started playing with the AI, I started because a friend of mine showed me about and told me about DALL-E. And then I just started looking for some Reddit forums and different kind of info that I could get access to. And I discovered Midjourney, which works through Discord. And to be honest, my mind blown. Like, it was like, oh my gosh, what I've been doing these 10 past years. I mean, like, I was also lacking in creativity at the moment when I get into it. And for me, it was like, okay, all my dreams come true, so I can show the clients what I'm willing to achieve. It's not a final result. It's more like, this is what I'm willing to get.
In it for a mood board and reference decks. Okay.
And also, I start using AI as backdrops of different campaigns. I've been shooting like huge campaigns for Samsung and lenses brand from here in Spain, and they just create huge visuals, like Mopis and key visuals, like they are massive. And I just create the backdrops with AI, and then I just shoot the photo, and my retouch will just make the implementation, and it's rad. I mean, it's super cool. I also add, I don't know, maybe I'm willing to have like water on the floor, and they just add it through the AI. So it's like those collages from where we were like, I don't know, 15, 14, and you just found different shots on the internet and just put it all together.
Yeah.
And now we can create those reference photos.
Wow.
That's pretty nice.
That's pretty nice. Talking about communication with clients, how do you balance your own artistic visions with requirements of clients, or like guidelines of clients? Can you speak to that?
I think whenever I'm brought onto a project, people are hiring me because they want like my vision and my vibe. I feel like I've rarely been brought onto something where it doesn't look like a Carianne shoot, like something that I would, like my eye and my vision. So, but it definitely is tricky. I've had clients where they're like, okay, well, like this is the vibe, and it's like not my vibe, but this is a job, and like I do this for a living, so I'm not going to turn down a job just because it's my vibe.
I'm a private boss to myself, but I'm not going to decline a job if it's a check.
Exactly. Yeah, if it's a check, and like I feel like a lot of people don't realize that this is like also a job. So and then that's a challenge for me when someone gives me a mood board that like I don't like or isn't like my vibe or is very commercial. But then it's a challenge, and I'm like, okay, well, how can I make this like look like my style? And it always does at the end of the day.
Spin it into your kind of
with a vision. I mean, like we've got like the way we feel. It's something that we cannot change.
Exactly.
Even there's a mood board there. Yeah. So I think even you're trying to get like clients' point of view, you will always get your style a little bit detailed on it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Find the perfect balance.
That's a good inspirational thing to think about for emerging photographers that might be listening to us. But you can always, it's your vision.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
Next generation world.
So.
Okay. Speaking of collaborations, you, Carianne, mentioned that you kind of drive the process usually. That it's that you manage the production and budgets. Is that something that you work with, Noah? Or is production management and budgeting something that's other people are doing for you?
In my case, for example, I've got like I've got different agents and production agents that work for my side, but I mean, like in Spain, I try to manage my own. I know clients, I know how budget works, so I prefer just to move around, like because sometimes like it depends on the idea, it depends on the concept, it depends on a lot of things that maybe I'm willing to do it, and I don't mind so much about the budget because I truly want to achieve that. Other times when there are like big advertisement campaign that you will need to get a little bit back, get a better result. So for that times I just work with different production agencies that are managing the rest of things.
Absolutely. It's a bit of a change of topic, change of gears, but something we talked about with colleagues preparing for this live stream, that you two have distinctive style, each their own, but both can be described as a bit of dreamlike, fairy tale-like on some projects. How does that happen? Like each of you must have some kind of secret to it. Like what's the dream? What's the secret ingredient of the dream? Like how to sell a dream?
I think that both of us are still kiddos. I think that you don't need to lose the kid inside of you to be. I think it is. I don't know, in my case, but I truly believe that.
Yeah.
Carianne and I are similar on that.
Definitely.
That's also very inspiring. Let's put it in a quote when we train this.
Yeah. I feel like just like that's my style. Like I don't know. People ask me all the time and I'm like, that's just what you get. Like that's the vibe. That's my vibe.
That's what you get.
I feel like I like soft imagery, and I've always loved like soft and like women and like the softness that like women bring in front of your camera, and also men, like turning that. And then I photograph a lot of men, especially as of recent. It's like, how do I turn that softness of my lens that I place so nicely on women and do it for men too? And I've been able to achieve that, which is really cool.
That's really cool.
And I'm willing to know, Carianne, and sometimes that it's kind of hard to keep that aesthetic alive, because sometimes it's so overcomplicated sometimes that it's like, no, I need to try different things, I need to improve, and then you realize that if you stick to who you are, it's much easier.
Yeah. And then I'm like, well, then whose work is this? Like, who am I? I'm like, that's my style,
Exactly.
Like, that's what it's gonna be, no matter what. Like, you hire me, that's the vibe.
Exactly.
That's
agree with that.
A brief interjection for our listeners. A reminder that everyone commenting in this live stream will get DM with invaluable tips from our guests, Carianne and Noah, and a special 1-year discount for new users of our...
Nice.
Yeah, let's get the cameras rolling again. How do you guys decide what gear to use? Have your setups evolved through time? What's the gear talk?
God, that's a good question.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm always like I'm seeing what my friends buy. Like I'm asking my friends, like, oh, you got a new camera? Like, what'd you get? Do you like it? I'm always like try before you buy. I always am like renting stuff, borrowing stuff from my friends. My very best friend, he used to live with me. He like just moved out, but he's a photographer, and we are like big. Anything he buys, I buy. So I just like, if he gets it, I'm like, oh, if he has it, I want it. So now we just have like double the gear, which is really nice because we shoot a lot together, and we'll like just double up on stuff.
That's cool.
But yeah, I like, and also staying ahead on like, I don't know if Noah, if you shop at like B&H.
No, I don't.
I know you're in Spain. So I'm like, I don't know if you have B&H if they could stuff there, but or like, and like eBay, like staying on top of like the deals and what's hot and what's new. But also I shoot film, so I'm shooting cameras from like, you know, the 1970s.
Yeah, me too. Love.
Yeah. What can I get at the what kind of mask? No fun.
You don't feel like when you're shooting on film, everything looks. I don't know. Maybe this is gonna sound a little bit like poetry, but
Yeah.
it's that second, that moment is never gonna be
Repeated.
Yeah.
again. I mean, like when you're shooting on digital, there are ones, both, so everything can be duplicated, replicated. But on film, is like, okay, this is the shot.
This is the memento of that moment in time.
It's a moment.
Okay.
Like that moment.
So I feel bad for asking now. Does anyone use mobile phones in their work?
Just for video, like just TF really. But
Okay.
most TF is on like a video camera, like on my VHS camera too. Like I like elevate it.
No, I was just trying to thematically like tie it into us being digital editing, you know, mobile app. But
I mean, like, I'm a little bit tired of that the universe is making us just think and film and shoot on portraits. I mean, shooting portraits are nice, but filming on portraits, I mean, like, how cool is just filming on landscape?
Yeah.
It's pretty nice. Okay, and now you need to, when you want to shoot on
to change all the rules and yeah.
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 I don't know. I know it's terrible. Or you post it and it's like this, and it's like black.
Everything black with black face, and it looks like, you know, like as if you didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Can or is anyone willing to share any insights on a particularly memorable shoot, or particularly successful, or particularly fun shoot that could be also like inspirational for viewers?
Good question. Trying to think of something I did. Trying to think of one that I did like recently. That was cool.
Oh, that's my cat.
So that was a bird. I was like, what is that?
Let's just bring the cats into the stream.
Yeah.
Let's ask the cats some questions.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
It's just only for attention.
Oh,
Maybe she wants you to take a picture of her or something.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think in my case, it was the chance when I was shooting with Olay. Olay is like a skin brand, and I was shooting like a campaign, like showing how beautiful wrinkles are. I mean, like no matter what age you have, your wrinkles are beautiful. So I love taking that route. I'm not against Photoshop because we need it just to retouch little details, but I don't like those smooth skin a lot. I know when you get natural on film, it looks cool, but not when you are over retouching.
Absolutely.
I love
No over retouching.
Exactly.
Not over retouching.
right. I'm trying to think of one. A couple of years ago, like one that stands out to me, I did the Playboy like resurgence of the bunny costume.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so cool because like they didn't have it, and like Playboy wasn't making it, and then Playboy was like, okay, we're making it again. And I shot 2 of my friends for it, and the photos just went like, they were like everywhere. It was so cool because everyone was like, it's back. Like how like you brought you brought the vintage vibe back. Some photos that they were taken in like the 90s. Like it was so cool. People were like freaking out. And I feel like that really put me on the map. That shoot, it was just like everywhere. And like my photos were everywhere. It was just so cool to see, and people loved it. And I love it. It's like my favorite shoot I've ever done, and it was 3 years ago. 3 years ago now. So
cool. Something. Speaking about retouching and post processing, you both said you prefer film, but there must be some role that post processing works in your post processing does in your processes. Can you speak briefly about that? Each of you.
Oh, I try to emulate film on digital when I use that. To be totally honest, that's my use of Photoshop, Lightroom, Capture One, or several different programs or softwares. It's the main goal is that one, because sometimes clients are running out of time or they don't have like a huge budget, because nowadays, if you realize how expensive films are.
Absolutely.
I mean, like
crazy.
A 200 Kodak here in Spain is almost 17 euros, where I used to buy like 2 years ago for 3 euros. It's like, so yeah, in terms of color grading mostly.
I see. Do you ever use an app like Prequel, maybe?
For sure.
Yeah.
Of course. Thank you.
For years, to be honest.
No, Prequel's always been great. Like it's always just been like a constant.
That's something we take pride in, honestly.
Yeah.
People from the industry say that they actually use our app for color grading. They're like,
it's really nice.
Stuff. It's crazy.
And I love all the features too. Like I love adding like sometimes I'll get one sparkle in my photo because it's filmed, and I can't see, and I'll have one sparkle, but I want more, so I'll take the sparkle and like add more in Prequel.
That's so cool. We should like a tutorial on that.
Yeah.
And when you get one sparkle, let's have one sparkle.
Yeah. People love the sparkles. Yeah. People love like added things on photos too. Like, but like I don't know, like graphic design and stuff. I don't know. It's just like fun just to add, sometimes to your photos. But I'm not a big retoucher either, really. Usually I shoot to how it comes out in the photo, but then like the other day I shot a concert and like these like weird TV screens were on the floor, and I used the new AI Photoshop, and it removed them out, and I was like, this is amazing.
This is the future.
Yeah, that's so cool. So I was like, I would have been sitting here, and I was like on a deadline to get the photos in, like they want the same day. It's like 2 a.m, and I'm sitting there, and I was done, and I was like, oh my God, I would have been here for like all night. I would not have slept if there wasn't AI.
And they keep the same rate.
Yeah.
Good. What are some ways of, if we pull out a bit into the grander scheme of things, what are some ways to stay up to date with like trends? What people are doing, what companies are putting out, what campaigns are there, whatever. Do you deliberately dedicate time to research?
Yeah, I feel like I spend a lot of time on Pinterest, on this app, on TikTok. My friends love to send me stuff. They love to be like, this is cool. Like, Jacquemus just did this, and they've been doing such a cool drop, and they'll like send me. A lot of people have been sending me that, or like Skims. Look at the Skims campaign, and like my friends will send it to me. So my friends, they like to send me stuff. My other photographer friends and models that think I'd be inspired by it. So
I need to
shout out to them.
Shout out to them.
Friends like that.
Yeah.
Friends swap.
Go ahead.
I mean, like social media, it's like a huge place to find a lot of inspiration. Also, not only the new trends, maybe just to reborn or revert the old trends that are on the back that I used to go. But yeah, I think that in my case could be like Pinterest or Instagram, or following those trend accounts that are always posting, or maybe the different arts like sculpture or painting or things like that.
That's important.
So important. I know. When you said that, I didn't even think, like, whenever people ask me, like, who I'm inspired by, I'm like, are you inspired by other photographers? I'm usually like, no, I like to go to the museum. I'm always in a museum, always looking at art. Like, I'm always, like, ingesting other forms of art. Like, I'm at the movies, I'm at the theater, museum. Because, like, you can't just look at this app all day, even though we want to. But,
I think I'm question I have is,
Yeah.
as a follow up, just because all of us are like, on Instagram, on Pinterest, on TikTok, day to day, and have friends send us stuff. But do you ever like have like a deliberate like, I need to go to a museum, or like I need to go make a folder of references, or like I need to sing some things? Does that happen?
Definitely. So often I feel like I'm always doing that, or I'll think of something and I'll like write it down in my notes in my phone. I love notes in my phone. Or I'll like tell someone, my cousins, I live with my cousin, always with my cousin, I'll be like, what if? And I'm like telling her an idea and she'll write it down, like she'll remember it. So I feel like I'm always like talking out into the world, like saying stuff that I'll remember.
Yeah. Or when people is talking around you, they sometimes drop a sentence and you're like,
That's like
for me.
That's some real.
That's like found poetry, basically. You find a line, found poetry, this genre of poetry. When you find a line in random text and use it represent for your phone.
I used to write a lot, actually, like short stories that then you can transform into storyboards, and then you can transform into movies or short things, or even you can make like a photo shoot based on that, so you can create a whole sequence that you can tell a story without having emotion in it. So I think that's a really good point. But yeah, people's conversation when you are eavesdropping, really, that's a really good thing.
Great, that's so cool to hear. How many ways are there for evolving and upgrading your visual literacy? That's a lot of stuff to chew on. Can you speak to any challenges you faced in your careers as professionals or as human beings or as women, and how you overcame them, or maybe how you wish you had overcome them?
Yeah, I know it's a hard one. I mean, you said being women is like the number one, because I feel like for every like 2 female photographers, there's like 10 men, and it's like, I was pitched for a tour. Here's a good one. I was pitched for a tour that I really wanted this year for a all-male band, and I didn't get it for whatever reason. They said they were bringing their content creator, and like I don't like to tour. I only want to go on tour if I like believe in what's going on. Like I believe in the band and passionate about
a project.
And and I go on they're on tour right now, and I go on their Instagram to see that they added one more man to the mix, and they brought in a male photographer, which is whatever. Yeah. Maybe they knew him. I don't know. But it's like, I was pitched. It would have been nice to have like a female on the team. I bet there's like probably one woman on their team or something.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Well, that's changing, right? The industry is slowly but changing. Would you say that's true?
Yeah. It's absolutely changing. And here we are, 2 ladies in the industry who are working, and this is our job and our career. And so it is changing. It's changed a lot since Noah's been at it longer than me, but since we've been here, I've seen a lot of really positive change. And change that I make is I teach people how to shoot film, and because it's a dying art, and I hold classes, they all sell out. I have these courses, I teach 1-on-1, and 9 out of 10 times it's ladies who come, and it's really cool. So I get
that's so cool.
Empower women and like teach them how to shoot film and how to run a business, and it's very special. So.
By women for women.
I'm not against having men there. I've had guys come to class, love it. Of course, but it's cool. Like I feel like I'm a woman, so like women gravitate, and it's just it's lovely. It's really cool.
In my case, I can tell you a short story. I used to have like a boyfriend, like, I don't know, 10 years ago, and he used to be my agent. So we travel a lot. People always say hi first to him, like thinking that I'm his assistant all the time, because I was carrying my own pillowcase and my own bag. Everyone was like, "Hey, Noah," just going straight to him, and it's like, and I'm always at his back, while up here, like he was huge, and I'm like, "Hey, it's me," because no one's just when you talk about Noah, no one thinks that I'm a girl. So I'm always using that on my benefit.
Yeah.
All the time. Yeah. When they just met me, it's like, "Hi, I'm here to meet blah blah blah," and they are like, "Oh yes, we're waiting. We were expecting a man," and I'm like,
"Well, That's me.
Wow. I feel like Noah, I know so many women Noah.
Yeah.
God.
And many dogs.
I get it. Yeah. Yeah.
That's cute. That's something I remember right away. I don't know if you know this musician, Lisa Pleppinger, from the band Miss Mister, from they're like an indie band. And she's also a record label owner, or like co-founder, with a guy. And she would say in interviews how they would have meetings and people would always speak to her male business partner first and foremost, even though they have exactly the same positions and exactly the same, like, you know, capital in the label. So yeah, but great to hear that stuff is changing. And as a kind of inspirational, maybe wrap up to the whole conversation, what are some advices that you would give to younger creators, maybe to female younger creators, female photographers, female content creative directors, female everything in the industry? The stage is yours. Go off.
I think I'd say, you know, just like, don't give up, keep going. I know this industry it's really hard and it can get you down sometimes, but there's always like a light at the end of the tunnel. And this is me talking to myself as well. And like, you have to stay positive out there because there's enough for everyone to eat. Like, there's enough jobs. We all can be working together, especially as women. Like, there's enough to go around.
That's a great word.
Stick following your dreams and never give up.
Yeah.
Because if you truly love that, you will be super unhappy if you are trying to do other things. And because I tried. For once, I tried just to try a different path, and I was really unhappy.
And you're happy and better off back on this track, right? Here talking with us on a beautiful Tuesday afternoon.
From Barcelona back to Madrid, and I think coming back to Madrid was like the best decision ever. And get back again on track with the path that I truly love. It's like the best decision ever.
Awesome.
So sometimes your path is gonna be like it's never gonna be
winding.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. Just stick to it.
Stick to your path. Stick to your path, kids.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. If you have any closing comments, you can go. Otherwise, I will let you have the rest of your day, and we will wrap this up.
Awesome. Thanks for having us.
Thank you, girl. Thank you, girl. This has been a great talk, great chat.
Yeah.
And go enjoy your days, and see you again soon for sure on this live stream.
Definitely.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, girls.